Hey, everybody. Welcome to our 300th episode. Yay!
300.
Yes, so we're going to do something a little different this episode. We're just going to chit-chat, George and I.
Mm-hmm.
And in the post-show, we're going to answer some questions some of you sent in, and that's going to be cool. But first, of course, we're going to discuss Casablanca. Now, here's a film that I'm very familiar with, but to my surprise, George, and a lot of our listeners are not.
Nope.
So, let me give a summary, then we're going to discuss it, and that'll be it. And we should have a good time.
Sure.
You can also look at us in our video. As always, we do have a video. If you're just listening to the audio, check out our video. I'm wearing an excellent t-shirt. I'm wearing my Darwin t-shirt.
He is wearing an excellent t-shirt.
Whereas Darwin is Scarface, a film we've never actually seen. We've got to put that on the list sometime. We've never actually seen Scarface as a show.
Write that down. Put that on the list.
Scarface. And George is wearing his cat t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Not t-shirt. Oh, it is a t-shirt, yeah.
It is a t-shirt. Over a thermal.
More thermal, yes.
And the big thing that's not the usual thing is we're in the same fucking room.
And we're in the same room, which we do for every anniversary.
Yes, we do that for the anniversary.
For every shows, we actually look at each other.
Yeah, kind of. Which means I'm going to have to hide this fucking video because we're both trying to look at the video. We need to not be doing
it. Is. I am staring at the video rather than looking at you.
But I do need to be...
But I'm so beautiful, I can't help myself.
Right, so let's, I guess, start the show.
Welcome to Does This Still Work? The podcast that always asks, does this still work? I'm Joe Dixon.
And I'm George Romacka. And today we're discussing
Casablanca
from 1942.
1942. Finally a film that we can say that neither of us was born for.
Yeah. And way, way, way earlier than we actually set the limit for what we usually watch.
Well, we go wacky on our anniversary shows.
Yes, we do.
We go way outside our format.
And we definitely tend to skew black and white.
We do skip black and white, yes.
I mean, not for the movies, not racially.
Racially. Although ebony and ivory go together like turkey and trees. I don't know.
Turkey and trees.
I don't know how the song goes.
I don't either, but I would love to know the context in which turkeys and trees go together like ebony and ivory.
I don't know. I guess I'm thinking of Thanksgiving, or Christmas and Thanksgiving are close together.
Sure, that's where the turkeys hide from the hunters.
Turkey, and then for Christmas is Christmas trees. So I just put those two together in my mind, I suppose. Who knows? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're not here to discuss my weird ideas about trees and turkeys. We're discussing a film called Casablanca.
Right, but first, we got to deal with some podcasty stuff.
Yes.
We're excited to announce that we've joined the Creator Accountability Network. CAN is a nonprofit dedicated to reducing harassment and abuse through ethical education and a system of restorative accountability. We joined because we care about the safety and well-being of our community members. If you feel our behavior or content has harmed someone, please report it to CAN, either via the reporting form on their website, creatoraccountabilitynetwork.org, or via their hotline at 617-249-4255. They'll help us make it right and avoid repeating that mistake in the future. CAN also needs volunteers from our communities to help with their work, so if you have skills you think would be helpful, or time and a desire to help, please visit their website to find out how you can volunteer. Most importantly, get the word out to other creators who you think would be interested in getting credentialed. Help us build safer communities together. And while we're talking about CAN does need volunteers and all that. They also need money.
They need money.
And January 8th is the annual CAN fundraiser for this year.
Mm-hmm.
Joe and I will be participating, reading parts that we do know now what parts we will be reading, of Marshall Logan Gibbs' Monster.
Yes.
As a live read virtual play thing that we will be doing with a bunch of other people from CAN.
Absolutely. Should be fun.
Yep.
Okay, so let's get into our show. Again, this is our anniversary show, so we do things a little different on the anniversary show.
Right. We would normally have a history segment here, but we don't.
We do not. However, what I can do and will do is give you a little quick facts about the movie. But first, let me give you the summary for those of you who have not seen Casablanca. And George, you're welcome to weigh in at any point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Casablanca, for those of you who don't know or are unfamiliar with it, only know the clips, is a story of a gentleman named Rick. And he has a love affair in Paris that breaks his heart, so he goes to Casablanca. In Casablanca,
Well, okay, he goes to Casablanca to get the fuck away from the Nazis, just like everybody else who's in Casablanca.
yeah, there are Nazis there too, but he's mostly there about his broken heart. Because how do you mend a broken heart? You go to Casablanca.
Apparently.
So anyway, he goes to Casablanca, and he's created a business there that he's very happy with, and everyone likes him. He's very popular and well known, although he's a little standoffish with the customers and everything. But nonetheless, he's
he's got a history that he's trying to hide. So
yes,
he keeps things close to the
yes.
chest.
His history is that he used to be a gun runner, basically. Yeah. Anyway, so he one day. A lady walks into his club, and you probably know this line if you're at all even remotely familiar with Casablanca.
Of all the gin joints in all the world, she has to walk into mine.
Exactly. That is the premise. A woman named Ilsa walks into the bar with her husband, and she doesn't know Rick is there. They're there because they're also being chased by the Nazis, and then they wind up in Casablanca. Completely randomly, no idea that Rick is there.
Well, the first clue that she gets that Rick might be there is she sees the piano player.
Yes. Sam.
The black person in the movie.
The only black person in the film, it's true.
But, great role to have.
Great role to have.
Oh my God.
I can only object to a few things, like I'm not too crazy about what she says. What's the name of that boy at the piano? I'm like, I could have done without that. And also, he never calls her by her first name. He's called Miss Elsa. Although I was curious about something. I know we're doing a summary, but this is a loosey-goosey episode, so we can do whatever we want. I am curious, what did you think of when she says later, when he's trying to lie to her about where Rick is? And she goes, Sam used to be a much better liar. What did that mean? Like, what relationship did they have before where he used to, what was he doing that he had to lie?
I don't know. But that's great fucking writing because it makes you wonder.
Yes. You're like, what was going on there with Sam before Rich? You're like, oh, you used to be such a much better liar. Like, all right. Anyway, so yes, her lover, Rick, is there. Mm-hmm. And Rick is devastated seeing her again because she left him almost at the aisle sort of thing. They're supposed to be at the train station.
So we don't have to, we can go talk about why things happen.
Right. Oh, sure. I'm not going to.
So they had this whirlwind romance in Paris immediately. Now, her husband, Victor Laszlo, was a
resistance fighter.
No, he was a publisher, or he was a. But
he was also with the resistance,
right? But he was a newspaper reporter in the newspaper.
He published things about the Nazis that the Nazis did not like.
And he got thrown in a concentration camp, and she got word that
he had died.
And in that depression, she meets Rick, and they have this weeks-long romance right before the Nazis roll into Paris. And the day, as the Nazis are rolling into Paris, and Rick and Ilsa have made these plans to run away together, she gets word that Victor's alive, and they've got him. They're smuggling him in a train car, and he's sick, and he needs her. So she sends a note with Sam, or she leaves a note, and Sam gets it and brings it to Rick at the train station, saying I can't tell you why, but I can't go with you. I love you. So long.
Devastating. And yeah, it's made him very angry and very hard. And we see in the film that there's a woman he's involved with that he treats like crap at the very beginning of the film. She wants to be with him. And he's like, I don't have time for this. He said, when can I see you again? I can't think that far ahead. And all these really great lines basically in the picture as he brushes her off. So he's a very angry man, and Ilsa and her husband, Victor Laszlo, come to town, and he's like, and they have something called letters of transit.
Right, no, so the other thing that happens is, at this point, this could have been the cold open. Hey, Joe, where is Casablanca? It's in Africa. I know it's in Africa. I know I'm white, but I'm not that white. What country? Because we had that conversation before the movie.
I can remember it was in Morocco.
Right. But this was
is in Morocco. That was.
Right.
It's still there.
Unoccupied French Morocco. So the Nazis were not in power there, but on the way there, 2 Nazi couriers with letters of transit, which were free,
It was signed by de Gaulle, and apparently it just allowed you to go anywhere you wanted to go if the papers are signed. Yeah.
I thought de Gaulle was France.
He was French.
He was. He was the leader. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so those couriers get murdered, and you see like the local Moroccan authorities like rounding up all the quote usual suspects. That's where this
if you didn't
round
know,
up the usual suspects. That's where this movie. That's where that comes from.
Oh, now I'll say at this point, too, because I said this to George after because he'd never seen it before, and I had. This is why this is one of the most quotable movies of all time, because there's so many awesome lines in this picture.
Well, there's a lot of awesome lines. It's also been around long enough to be quoted a whole bunch.
That's true. It's been around almost over 80 years now.
Yes. I'm not going to do that math right. But the guy that killed those couriers and took those letters shows up at Rick's bar, and like, Rick doesn't like him very much, but because of that, he's like, yeah, you don't like me. You're the only person who doesn't like me, and that's why I trust you. Kind of makes sense. He's like, hey, I need you to hold on to these things for me. And Rick's like, fine. Then that guy gets like killed.
Well, don't forget also that Rick says, hey, wait a minute, I understand those couriers were killed, and or got, I believe is the character's name. He goes like, yeah, poor souls.
Yeah.
And Rick goes, okay, now I have more respect for you.
Yeah. So that's how he comes into possession of these letters. Is the guy that did the crime, whatever.
Technically, it was a crime, but
yeah, but
we're good for it. We're pro, killing Nazis, not a bad thing.
Pro killing Nazis. This is a pro killing Nazis podcast.
If you didn't know, after all this time, you haven't figured out. After 300 episodes, you can't understand. We hate Nazis. I don't know what to tell you. This is a revelation to you.
Yep.
So anyway, yes. So Rick is in possession of these letters of transit, which is also what Victor Laszlo and Ilsa are looking for. They need those letters of transit so they can get out of Casablanca to go to Portugal, to get from Portugal to the States, so he can continue his work of telling how shitty the Nazis are. Something you think people would know, naturally, but I guess...
And not only that, but because he's been deeply involved in all of the underground movements, he knows who all the key players are, and that means he can't let that knowledge fall into Nazi hands.
Right. And another person who also comes to town in the film is what is the Nazi leader's name? I've completely forgotten.
I don't care. He's fucking Nazi.
The Nazi leader who comes to town, oh God, what?
All right, we're gonna look it up.
Blah 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 has been shot. Strausser.
Sounds German enough.
Strausser has been shot. Round up the usual suspects is the line. I believe I may be messing that up.
Yeah, Major Heinrich Strausser.
Right, Heinrich Strausser. Right, he also comes to town. He is there about the two murdered German officials. He does not know about Laszlo until later, and he goes, "Oh, Laszlo's here also, and I can also get a feather in my cap taking him down."
Yeah.
So anyway, so everyone's
and the police chief, like the local police chief, is Captain Renault.
Renault, right? Who has some of the best lines in the film? Absolute scumbag.
Absolute scumbag, but also he is absolutely corrupt.
100%.
But ultimately,
you like him.
Ultimately, he's the good guy.
He's only the good guy. He says he has no real feelings. He doesn't care one way or the other who wins the war. He'll go whichever way the wind blows. He's really a terrible person until you get to know him better. You're like, actually, there's something decent under that, which is also true of Rick.
Yeah.
They both become better people by the end of the picture, basically. So anyway, so Sam is trying to lie about Ilsa about what's going on. She finds out that Rick is there. Rick and she meet up. Rick is very nasty to her because he doesn't understand what happened. So, and she's like, okay, fine, I'm not going to tell you shit then because you're an asshole to me. And that goes on for a bit. Also, another gentleman we shouldn't leave out is played by Sidney Greenstreet, who is the guy at the Blue Parrot.
Signor Ferrari,
who is with other underground illegal activities in Casablanca.
He runs the black market in. He is at the epicenter of all illegal activity in Casablanca.
In Casablanca, yes. So, and he tries to get Rick to join, and Rick's like, "You handle your business, I'll handle mine. I'm not interested." So, these are all the characters, basically. And Rick is like, really like, "Oh, I don't give a damn about this. I'm not going to give you the letters of transit. Get out of here." Until Ilsa goes like, "Listen, actually, it turns out I love you still." And then that's when she explains to him what happened. He's finally willing to listen to what she's talking about.
Yeah.
And he tells her, like, oh, I thought my husband was dead. And so that's why I hooked up with you. But it turns out he was alive. I couldn't tell you because our dearest friends don't even know that we're married.
Right.
Because once that comes out, I suddenly become a liability to him because that will obviously take me because I know a lot of the things he knows, which makes sense.
It's why Superman kept the secret identity of Clark Kent.
To Lois until the recent series, then she knows everything about it. Anyway.
Well, no, he's still Clark Kent.
He's still Clark Kent, but she now knows he's Clark Kent is Superman.
Right, but not everybody else does.
No one else does.
Right,
no.
so nobody knows that she's dating Superman.
As if in the latest film, everyone does know. But that's another story. Anyway, we're talking about this movie. So Rick is like, okay, let me think about what we should do here. Because she's like, I will stay with you. You make up your mind. I don't know what to do now. And understandably, because she's loving two men, basically. Two very strong men.
And the funny thing is, like, I'm sitting there with my sweetheart watching this. And I'm like, NRE, it's a hell of a drug. New relationship energy is a hell of a drug. It is like a fucking opiate. Mm-hmm. It can blind you to red flags or paint them green. It can make you overpromise and overcommit to things. It can make you imagine long-lasting futures with people within time spans way too short for you to actually understand if that person is actually a good fit for that or not. And they had a whirlwind romance in Paris, and then they're seeing each other again. That, like, the behavior is new relationship energy behavior. I can't leave you again, even though I am deeply devoted to my husband. I can't leave you again after being with you for like 3 weeks and 2 days. Like,
she's also deeply devoted to the mission.
Right.
She's also, I don't want to say she bought into this because they both agree, like, hey, Nazis are bad and we need to defeat them. So she has her own. I'll give the film credit a lot. I think she's. I mean, she doesn't do a whole lot heroic, but she's a very tough lady. She's not. She is not a manic pixie dream girl. She's no manic pixie dream girl. That's for goddamn sure. So anyway, so eventually Rick goes, okay, I have a plan. You and I will run off together. And we'll leave. We'll make sure Victor's okay, but we'll go off together. And then he tells Renault, "Hey, I'm going to betray Victor Laszlo, and you'll arrest him, and then we'll get rid of him. You guys will get some credit, and I'll get off with Ilsa. I'll run off with Ilsa.
But I need you to make sure you come alone, Mr. Cop. I don't want you and your cadre there. Like, make sure you leave all your
right.
Yeah.
And so this happens. This whole plot goes like, okay." Renault goes there and he goes like, okay, I'm going to arrest you, Victor Laszlo, because you got the villains of transit, which means you were behind the murders of these two couriers. And then Rick pulls out the gun and is like, no, actually, that's not what we're going to do.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
And so they all go to the airport.
But before they go to the airport, Captain Renault makes a call to Strausser. Like, is this the airport? Yes, we're coming. Please keep everything clear. So basically tipping him off.
Strausser goes like, what?
But Strausser...
Get my car, I gotta get there.
Strausser... But we'll get to where Strausser... Keep going.
Okay, so they're all at the airport, and Rick, that's when Rick reveals his real plan. Is like, Ilsa, you gotta go with Laszlo. This is something that means a lot to him. You do love him. He does love you. His work cannot continue without you. This is more important than the three of us. That's the line that's also very quoted from the film. The three little people.
The lives of three people do not amount to a hill of beans in this crazy world.
Which is true. I mean, there was something more important than your love affair than fucking Nazis. Yep. There's a war going on, folks. Come on. So Ilsa goes with Victor Laszlo. I forgot. I'm going to go back a little bit. Also, we also see Victor Laszlo. One of my favorite scenes is when the Nazis are in the Rick's club and they start singing.
Oh, they start, like, one of the Nazis sits down at the piano and starts playing the German.
Well, they don't play the piano, but they all do just start singing.
No, one of them is playing the piano.
Nobody's playing the piano.
Yes, he is.
No.
Uh-huh.
No.
Uh-huh.
No.
You want to... What do you want to bet?
I'll bet you $50.
Okay, I'll pull it up right now.
Go ahead. This is a film I've seen many times. No Nazi plays a piano.
Let me get to the shows, because the show's the one that owns it on YouTube.
There's no piano. Oh my God. I never noticed that. You're right. There's a piano. I owe you $50. I did. All this years I've seen this thing and never registered. I mean, there's another piano. I guess he took Sam's piano? I don't...
Given my recent history with pianos, you should have known that I would pick out anybody playing a piano in any scene.
That's so weird. I do not remember them playing the piano. It's so funny. Anyway, Victor Laszlo Still my favorite scene. Victor Laszlo sees this. Everyone else is sitting there listening to these idiots, these Nazis singing. Victor Laszlo's like, fuck that.
So he goes up to the house band and like play the French national anthem. And so they do. And way more people know that song and are willing to sing it. And it like basically causes the Nazis to just sort of shrink up, which makes them get mad because they're conservatives. They don't like not feeling like they're in power.
And that's when you get the line when Strauss goes to Renault and says, "Oh, you got to close this place up." He said, I have no reason to close this place up. And he says, think of one. And he goes, blows the whistle and goes like, this place is closed down. And then Rick goes, what? You have no reason to close me up. And he goes, I am shocked. The gambling goes on here. And then the guy goes over to him, you're winning, sir. Which you laughed at, which I appreciate. Like, and for people who've seen, I've seen it a million times, so I didn't laugh, but I did enjoy that. Yeah. There were so many, again, if you've not seen this picture, you are denying yourself a pleasure. There are so, look, let's just say it up front already. This works.
Fuck it. Well, let's get to the end of the movie.
Yeah,
we're almost there.
I know, but I'm simply let's admit it. I love this film. That's why I put it on the list. I'm just curious what you thought about it because I'm curious how you would rate it because I thought it was a fantastic film. I've seen it many, many times. Didn't remember the Nazis playing the piano, but I still loved it very much. Anyway, so not Victor Laszlo. So Victor Laszlo goes down and they sing it, blah blah blah, and that line that I said. So anyway, back to the airport where I left off before. Renault shows up. He goes like, why are you letting Victor Laszlo go? And Renault says, well, Rick has a gun on me. So he says, he goes to the phone at the airport. He goes like, I want to stop this plane.
And Rick's like, put the fucking phone down or I'm going to shoot you. And he says it twice and he doesn't put the phone down. So he shoots him.
Well, to be fair, Renault pulls out his gun, shoots at him first, and then Rick shoots him, killing him.
The Nazis are bad shots.
Yes, Nazis, I'll miss him. So then he goes down. We don't know if he dies or not, but he definitely gets shot. And that's when they come up with the line from Renault, go like,
Strasser's been shot. Round up the usual suspects.
Again, this is the most quoted film of all time. You really need to see this if you haven't seen it. So yeah, so that line, then
Ilsa and Victor get on the plane and they fucking fly off.
They fly off. And then Rick and Renault goes like, okay. And Renault goes, oh, you're such a sentimentalist. And you're taking sides. And Rick goes, yeah, I think it's about time I should. And Renault goes, you know what? You're right. It is time.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard for both of us to stick around here for a while. So let's go run off and join the fucking resistance somewhere. And as they're walking down the tarmac, you get Louis. I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
The end.
The end.
Just, what did you say when you were watching it? You said, what about the lines?
They don't fucking write movies like that.
No, they don't.
Like, they really don't, and they should. Like, the attention... Somebody wrote this on... Like, a lot of times I feel like shit gets written... Because I know I write this way sometimes. Like, I write whatever the fuck comes out, and that's what we get.
All right.
Right? Somebody went over this. Like, you could tell care was put into the writing of this movie.
Well, this is the interesting thing about it.
Okay.
In terms of writing this film, they did not... This is based on a play. There was a play called Everybody Goes to Rick's. And the studios bought it for like $20,000, and they started to rewrite it. But they didn't know how to shape it. So a lot of the lines you see are them writing it as it goes on. Because if you remember, there are points where they say, like, this is a story without an ending, or, why don't you start telling it and maybe you'll figure out an ending as you go along. That's real. That's the writing. Because they literally did not know how to end this thing.
Okay, then scratch everything I just said. This is just great writing without attention to the process.
They were just writing this thing as it was going along. They had no idea where it was going, which is probably one of the reasons it works so well, because the characters don't know and the writers don't know.
Yep.
So everyone's like, I don't know how this is going to end. So, yeah, so that's one of the very interesting things about this film is that so much about this seemed to go wrong, and that by the final product, it's just fantastic. First of all, the guy who played Victor Laszlo, Paul Heinrich, hated the film. He didn't want to be in it, didn't want to be there, thought it was beneath him. Both Bogart and Ingmar Bergman didn't like him. They didn't get along at all. So and you can't tell that by looking at the film.
No.
Another very interesting thing about it is that Humphrey Bogart is much shorter than apparently Ingmar Bergman, so they had to put him on pillows in the crates so he seemed taller than he was. Another interesting thing about it, Sam, Dooley Wilson. Oh, this is a very interesting fact. First of all, I think his name is Arthur Wilson, not Dooley Wilson. He called himself Dooley because that was the name of a character he played when he was in vaudeville, where he wore whiteface as an Irish character he played in vaudeville, which I didn't even know whiteface was a thing. But he kept the name Dooley.
Wow.
And he was a percussionist. If you notice, you talk about the piano playing, he's not really playing that piano because he couldn't play. He didn't know how to play piano at all. And if you look at some of his movements, you can tell that man is not playing the piano.
I couldn't tell shit. But
really? Okay. So yeah, he was not. He was a percussionist. He was a band leader. He could sing a little.
I mean, a piano is a percussion instrument. It's also
okay.
It's also
well, he's a drummer, I should say.
It's also a string instrument.
I should say he's a drummer then. But he did not play piano, so they had to dub that in. In terms of the other characters, another interesting fact about it.
All the black people that could play piano, and they found the one that couldn't.
He was under contract at the time. They hired him for this movie.
Okay.
Also, a lot of the characters, the extras in it, and some of the guys who are playing roulette, or not playing roulette, but are the Cooper and all the bartender and all these guys, they were refugees from the Nazis. So that's probably some of the also some of the emotion you'll see, especially when they sing the Marcel. That's real. Yeah. Because they generally were running for the Nazis and they hated them, obviously. And also the guy who played the Nazi, Strausser, he was also obviously someone, a refugee. So some of that is also in the film there, although then it's not addressed, but that's where a lot of the emotions come from. Like I said, they're writers. They were going along. The scene where Rick DeLazlo goes down and says, "Play the Marcel," and the band leaders look over at Rick to get this permission to do it.
And Rick's like, "Yup."
And that apparently was not. That scene wasn't there. What happened was the director simply had Humphrey Bogart do a nod, and he said, and Humphrey goes like, "Well, what am I going to do this for?" He said, "Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll put it in somewhere." So that's where that scene goes. So there's a lot of coverage in there that are just, that scene was not meant for there. We're just like, we're just going to have this here, and if we need it, we'll put it in wherever we need it. And so that nod, literally, he's not on set when that happens. If that nod was done whenever, it wasn't during that scene. So it's the movie magic behind this thing is just pretty incredible. Oh, but let me give you some other quick history stuff while we're on it, since we already told you the summary. Okay. Oh, because the film was made during World War II production. Because the film was made during World War II, the production was not allowed to film at an airport for and this is all from IMDb, by the way, after dark for security reasons. Instead, it used a soundstage with a small cardboard cutout airplane and forced perspective to give the illusion that the plane was full size. They used little people to betray the crew preparing the plane for takeoff. Years later, the same technique was used in Alien 1979 in the scene where the crew discovers the dead space jockey with director Ripley Scott's son and some of his friends and scaled down spacesuits. I didn't even know. We saw Alien. I had no idea.
Wow. Yeah.
That is wild. That is just fantastic. And like I said, nobody knew how the film was going to end. So a lot of some of Rick's lines, some of Humphrey Bogart's lines were improvised. Because again, they were just making this shit up as they were going along. Some of it was like, here's looking at you, kid. And they're like, that's a good line. You can say that again. So that's in there. So yeah, it's
the only trivia I have is a non-trivia. Because I was listening for all the things that I was expecting to hear, because so many quotables. One of the things that is not in this movie is the line, play it again, Sam. Play it, Sam, is in there. Not Play It Again, Sam.
Although there is a movie called Play It Again, Sam, directed by Woody Allen, written and directed by Woody Allen, about his relationship with, his character's relationship with the film Casablanca, where Humphrey Bogart's ghost, or at least Humphrey Bogart's ghost is played by Rick in the movie, visits him. It's a very interesting premise. But anyway, so that's probably also, again, people think, Play It Again, Sam, that's in there. But no, that's not in the film. No one says Play It Again, Sam. They just say, play it, Sam, play it again. Oh, sorry, not play it again. They say, play it, Sam, play it. That's it. No again. Yeah, it's a beautifully shot picture.
Yeah, I can't, me and my relationship with black and white movies isn't great. But number one, this is fucking 1942. So, yeah, black and white movie. But, oh my God, the cinematography was all, it was all they had. So, It was great, and it was great. Like, all the shots were incredibly framed. The costuming was fucking amazing. The set design was fucking... Everything about this film was what I wish every movie would be.
Well, and the irony about the film is, again, no one knew what they were doing. They had no idea.
They got it perfect by accident.
By accident. As far as everybody was concerned, this is just going to be one of many films they were shooting. A lot of the plot is based on an earlier film that Bogart had done. A lot of the poster art stuff from Bogart had done early. No one thought this thing was going to be anything special.
But even in their accidental writing of it, they still thought to close loops.
Right.
Like, okay, Rick is going off to join the resistance with Louis now. What happens to his bar? Well, he gave his bar to Ferrari. And, like, extracted a promise from Ferrari that he would keep all of his staff on, and, like, even got a raise for Sam. Like, that loose end was tied up.
Yeah. The problem, because, again, they're making this as they go along. So, like, oh, wait, shouldn't we address this? Oh, yeah, we better put that in there. Someone will take care of that.
Yeah.
Which makes me curious, then what was the play about? What was the play? Like, what was going on in the play? If they changed so much, or they're adding so much, or they didn't know where it was ending, how the hell did the play end? I have no idea. That part I don't know. I just know, interesting fact, that I think in like either the 70s or 80s, the people originally, I think it was a husband and wife team, wrote Every Way to Visit Sam's, or whatever the original name of the play was. They sued Warner Brothers for the rights of the characters back, because they sold it for $20,000, and then of course it comes this huge hit, and they're like, hey, we want some of that. We want, hey, these characters mean a lot to us. We want them back. And of course, Warner Brothers said no. And they went to court, and the court said, no, come on.
No, that's when you sell the rights to something, that's what you're doing.
But they did get some money after that, so they got some extra cash, more than $20,000 they originally sold it for. Although $20,000 in 1942 was not nothing.
No.
So that worked out for them. But again, no one in this film really knew. I don't know what Julie Wilson thought about the picture. I know, like I said, poor Heinrich didn't think much of it. I'm not sure we're not really clear what Bogart or Ingrid Bergman thought of it. I think they didn't think much of it. But certainly they didn't think it was going to be special. But again, their main focus was they really hated Bogart. He was a real dick. I think his performance is very, very good. I think everyone's performance is excellent. It's an astonishing put together film, especially for one where nobody knows what they're doing. It's just there is such a thing as happy accidents. Mm-hmm. Sometimes things just really work out, and this really worked out. It's just and yeah, like I said, I've already said it, and you already agree. This is a film that still works. Unbelievable. You really, please, I beg of you, see this picture. As much as I love, and it's still my favorite film, The Third Man, this comes really close. It is really, Third Man, as much as I enjoyed it, I liked its cynicism at the end. That's why one of the reasons I really enjoy this. But this has such good, and again, so many lines in here are stuff you see in other movies. Did you know, where did that come from? Casablanca. Where did that come from? Casablanca. Where did that come from? Casablanca. Hell, we even got we even have a film after the line, The Usual Suspects, a movie called The Usual Suspects from Casablanca. So, yeah, and I'm just shocked at how many people have never seen. How come you think you've never seen? Just you didn't think it was interesting to you, or just you've seen clips or something, right?
Yeah, because you could not see clips because they play clips of it in other movies,
right?
But yeah, no, it just never occurred to like it was way before my time. I just assumed I wouldn't identify. I didn't know I'd be living in a fucking timeline. Goddamn Nazis!
The Nazis are back,
back in power in our fucking country.
That's one irony. Everyone gets to America. I'm like, oh, that's not going to work out later.
Yeah, joke's on you.
But at the time, makes sense. Oh my God. When I first saw this film, I saw it on Channel 13 when I don't know, was a teenager, and thought it was like, wow, this is actually really good. I know, what is this Casablanca? What is that? And of course, there was no internet at the time. I was a kid, so I couldn't just look it up. So it was just completely new to me. No one had mentioned it. But also, when I was growing up at the time when black and white movies were on television, I've said this before. I think a lot of reasons why your generation, a lot of people have not familiar with black and white films as much as they could be, is because it's not on television as much as it used to be. When I was growing up, you couldn't avoid. You saw Abbott and Costello, you saw Casablanca, you saw all these old black and white pictures because there was only 3 TV stations and all these independent stations like Channel 5, Channel 11, all these, and they showed black and white pictures just It was just in the rotation.
And it wasn't, I can't remember the last time I watched something on TV.
Yeah, that's another thing, yeah. But once cable came along, all these black and white pictures went onto TCM and all these, and they were a little ghetto where if you really want to see them, you have to go out of your way to find them as opposed to just turning it on. And there was no reason for me to know Abbott and Costello. My parents, my mother and my grandmother never brought up Abbott and Costello. Only reason I watched is because on Saturdays and Sunday after church, it was on, so I turned it on and watched Abbott and Costello or Lauren Hardy. That's how I was introduced to this stuff. And that, for a lot of these guys, that's how they had a second career, because in the 70s, this stuff would be on TV, and people would watch it. People my age, and they'd go like, and suddenly write to them and say, hey, I got a second renewal. That's one of the reasons Casablanca was played on college campuses, because, again, no one knew about it at the time, but we were like teenagers or whatever, and then they see it on TV, and they go, well, this is entertaining, and so they put it on college campuses, and all these young people, some of whom will go on to be filmmakers themselves, would see it. Which is just not as easy today, because now everyone's like, they don't even know it exists. They're not looking at black and white movies. It's got to be in color, or they're going to lose their mind. People do not like black and white pictures for some reason. A bias I do not get. But again, I understand, because I grew up with it, and a lot of people have not. One of the biggest criticisms, why it's got to be in black and white? That's not now black and white, because it was filmed in 1942, okay? It's filmed before there was film. And yes, some older films where there is color, they have black and white pictures, but they'll make it black and white because it's an artistic choice. It's not to offend you. It's not to make you mad or anything. They're not trying to be special. They just want to show you like, hey, I think the story would work better if it was in black and white than in color. All right, I don't know if we can really say anything else. Do we want to get into the post-show stuff?
Well, we still have a format of the show, Joe.
Okay, George, what's coming up next?
Next week, we're talking about Bird from 1988.
Oh, my God. I've never actually seen that. That is directed by Clint Eastwood.
Uh-oh.
I think, what?
I don't like that guy.
Well, yeah, he's an asshole, but that doesn't mean he's a bad director.
We knew that the one thing in Dirty Harry, the one scene that he directed was fucking stupid. So I have reason to not be looking forward to seeing him direct shit.
Because he's referencing in Dirty Harry, there's a scene where there's no scene he actually directs in that picture, in which he gets into a cherry picker, a Dirty Harry character gets a cherry picker, and it just goes all the way up. And Clint Eastwood directed that scene. It's completely unnecessary. He gets better. He gets better as a director.
I fucking hope so.
Although we'll see how Bird is. I think he got an Oscar nomination. It is about the jazz singer, not jazz singer, he didn't sing.
Charlie Bird?
It's about Charlie Bird, and he was a trumpet player, I believe. Yeah, but beyond that, I don't know much more about it. So we'll see. That should be an interesting picture. I believe that is in color, so no one has an excuse to miss that one. So that should be interesting.
Alrighty.
I assume you never even heard of Bird.
No.
What year? What year did it come?
88.
88. Oh, so you were still a child.
Yeah, 7.
Yeah, so it makes sense. I was not 7.
You were never 7, Joe.
I was never 7. Okay. Well, thank you very much for listening, everybody. This is our anniversary show. We're going to do a post show, and we're going to put it out there. We usually put it behind a wall, but today we're just going to have it all out there for you to enjoy. So stick around for the post show.
Yep, because we asked our patrons for questions, and we got 3 questions from one patron, so we're going to answer those.
Answer those questions.
And yeah, thanks for supporting us for 300 episodes. Here's to however many more we can squeeze out of Joe before he says he's tired of this and doesn't want to do it anymore.
That's practically every Saturday we record these. God, do I want to do this again?
Well, the recording part isn't, I hope the recording part isn't the part that makes you go, oh, do I want to? Because for me, it's sitting down and writing shit. That's the part that makes you go, Actually, no, it's not even the writing, it's the editing.
I was going to say,
that's the part that makes me do that.
That would make more sense. The writing is pretty easy, I think, because we have a format, so we just follow the format. It's pretty easy to hook into that. But editing, that can be exhausting, especially when I do Mr. Ooh, ahs, and stuff. So that can be a bit, I'm sure, frustrating.
You were actually getting better about that when you were doing some of the editing, but then we started doing video, and I haven't worked out a framework yet for you to be editing that. So,
and that is life. So that's it for this part of the episode. I'm Joe Dixon. Thanks for listening.
And I'm George Romaka. Thanks for listening indeed. Because if a podcast drops and there's nobody around to hear it, it's just another collection of ones and zeros that doesn't matter.
You've been listening to Does This Still Work? Produced by Joe Dixon and George Romaka.
This content is CAN credentialed.
which means you can report instances of harassment, abuse, or other harm on their hotline at 617-249-4255 or on their website at creatoraccountabilitynetwork.org. The hosts can be reached via social media, email, or the contact page at dtswpod.com. Be good to yourself and others, because that still works.
Welcome to the post show.
Welcome to the post show, everybody. Everybody to the post show.
All the
Post show. Post show.
I'm just going to make that super big.
That's what you always say to me.
Yep. I sure do, Joe. I sure do always say to you, I'm going to make that
That's
super big.
And it's never true.
See, you're no-anding the yes and.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it's true. You're huge.
Or I make you huge, depending on...
Both ways.
Yes.
We make each other huge.
So, admittedly, with short notice, because I posted the question 2 days ago, I asked the patrons for some questions, and one of our patrons, Eve, thank you, Eve, for not only asking a question, but 3 of them.
Yes.
The first one being, how did the two of us meet?
Do you want to take that?
Yeah, because I tell this story a lot. People ask me this quite often, actually. How did you so, Joe...
They say, like, how do you know this Negro? Is that what they're wondering? Like,
nobody has ever...
What are you doing with this black man? What the fuck is that about?
I can't say that that's not what's in their head, but that's never what comes out of their mouth.
What's it like to know a black person? I'm curious. I've never talked to one before in my life. I'm sorry. Finish how we met.
So, I've been listening to podcasts for a long time, and one of the ones that I started listening to when I realized I was an atheist was called Skeptiles, and that had Joe, his friend Sean and Scooter on it. And I just listened to his podcast, and he was hosting open mics in the city at that time. And he announced that there was one coming up, and he announced where it was going to be. I'm like, I work in that city. I can get to that city. I can maybe go meet somebody whose podcast I listen to, and it'd be cool. So I did. I showed up at one of his open mics. This was back when I had fucking long hair in my first polyamory experience, which is insane. I actually had not my wife with me at that time when I met him. But that's how we met, is I went to one of his open mics and introduced myself, and then we became Facebook friends. And then a lot of things happened.
I found out you like the N-word. We need to work on that.
I did. I had this stupid fucking weird libertarian streak idea that, well, I'm not going to bleep it because then I'm just making the other person say the word in their head. I'm going to own it and say it in my own voice, which is garbage. It was stupid reasoning. And honestly, until I had that idea, I almost never said that word. And then one day Joe's like, I can't keep being your friend if you keep saying that word. And I'm like, I'm going to stop saying that word. So I stopped saying that word. And I haven't regretted stopping saying that word. Not even once.
It is very interesting when you're black and you're friends with a lot of white people. How many white folks think, oh, now I can use this word now because we're a word I don't use. So I don't even know where you get the idea. I can see if you were hanging around a bunch of black guys who are constantly saying it and you fall into it too. I don't approve it, but I can understand that. I don't talk that way, so I don't even know what excuse you're using.
Nope, this was all just inside George's head shit.
It's very weird.
It was.
All right.
But you can describe how we got the podcast off the ground, because you drove that.
Yes. Okay, so a couple of years after Skeptiles ended, I was still friends with George. Don't ask me why. And we were talking.
Because aside from that one thing, I'm kind of not I'm a good person.
You're adequate. And so so anyway, we're hanging out, and I thought we had a good rapport, and I wanted to do another podcast. I tried a few others after Skeptiles with my friend Todd Modesty, a person whose name we keep bringing up, although We never actually had him on the show. We
No,
really
we've
should.
got him. I keep kicking it down to schedule.
He's supposed to do Richie Rich or something?
No, Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck.
But I feel like trying to schedule that, because I'm going to have to bring him here.
Yes.
And I feel like scheduling that.
Unless we want really bad audio.
Right. I feel like scheduling it's going to be a thing, and I'm just not. I don't have the spoons for it.
But anyway, so gentlemen, we mentioned a lot. Oh, and recently he sent me, and I posted it on my social media. He pitched me in a couple of his flicks, and someone wrote a review of one of his movies and said nice things about me, my performance. So like, oh, thank you. So you look surprised. So I take it you didn't see.
I didn't see that post.
Yeah.
Todd Mondesi is the only reason I have an actor credit on IMDb.
Yes. And what's your favorite line about Todd? Everybody
knows him. Joe and I were walking in the Halloween parade, and Joe asked me, he's like, so did you see anybody you know? And I said, no, but I guarantee we've seen at least 5 people that know Todd.
Todd knows a lot of people. He's a very popular guy. He's a very nice guy. A lot of people like him, and he hustles. He hustles.
More than once, we've been all hanging out together just in the city, and somebody walking by has been like, hey, Todd! And we do it hang out in all kinds of different parts of the city. So it's not like we're hanging around one neighborhood just everybody in New York knows Todd.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
but not everybody in New York is paying him.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you listening to this, you haven't made it until you've met Todd Mondesi. I'm just telling you that right now. So you got to meet Todd Mondesi, and you'll know your life is fit. Anyway, so what's the next question? It's right there.
Well, you didn't finish telling the story.
Oh, what else was I supposed to say? I'm sorry.
How
we put the show together. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So one day we were hanging out for lunch or something, and we had a good rapport, I thought. And I like I said, I tried to do a show with Todd. I tried to do another show on, and it just wasn't really working, or Sean couldn't do it, and Todd wasn't interested. So I just addressed you, and I said, hey, we seem to be... Why don't
nice to know as your third string choice.
Technically, you roll on the same level. I'm just asking anybody. And I said, hey, why don't we do this? And you said, okay, sure. And I figured, I don't want to do politics again. I don't want to do atheism again, especially the way atheism is now with the lunatics. Let's not even get into that. Anyway, so so let's do something about movies. That'll be good. And we can throw in our politics, our atheism in it, but the main framework is going to be movies. And because I wanted to be a filmmaker at some point in my life. I studied film, so I know a lot about film, which is probably a little unfair to you because you don't know as much. The fact that I keep making fun of you for, but honestly, it's really an unequal ratio because I know more about film because I literally have seen more films.
No, but Joe, I know a lot about how to put a podcast together.
You do not,
how to do tech stuff.
You do not do tech stuff. Yes. So I asked you,
I rely on your film knowledge, and you rely on my tech skills, and it works out pretty.
Works out pretty well. Yes. So I said, George, let's do this together. And you said yes, and then you disappeared on me for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah, you were having issues, and I finally confronted you about it. It's like, hey, do you want to do this or not? And you finally said yes, and so I had to put a little bit of fire under you, but eventually you got into the rhythm of it, and we got to enjoy doing it, and so we did it. And if you listen to our very first episode, you see the show is very different from the way we started out.
Yeah. I mean, it's very different than it was like 2 months ago.
Yes, we changed a lot of things. And by the way, listeners, please give us your feedback of the stuff you like, that you think we should do more of. Let us know. If there's something you don't like, you think we should less of, let us know. I mean, we're open to changes. We're not wed to this.
Yeah, right now, the only real thing that's guiding the format of the show is how much time we have and patience we have to do things.
It's true. But our main thing is, like, we watch the film, we write the film, not really write the film.
Talk about the history.
We write the history and all this sort of stuff. You do the technical stuff mostly, and then we put it out there. But again, if you want, just give us some more feedback. We would love to hear more about you, what you like about it, more stuff you want us to do, less stuff you want us to do. That'd be great. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so we put it together, and this is the podcast we don't have.
Yep.
And we've done it for 300 freaking episodes, which is amazing. Because let me tell you, there are times you and I have gotten very angry at each other. It didn't look like there was going to be a podcast.
Yeah. And weird. Some of it was just weird. Like we were both in a bad headspace and just sort of snapping at each other. And then we came back and we're like, dude, sorry.
Yeah. At one point, I even hung up on you because you yelled at me. I'm like, well, fuck this. I don't have to put up with this bullshit.
No, you don't.
But I promised myself, and then you got around to it as well. It's like, okay, I'm not going to keep fighting with you. I'm like, whenever you get your moments, I'm just going to step back and let you. And also, you should do the same for me. Like, just let's just let ourselves calm down. Because generally, we're not really mad at each other. We're usually mad about something else going on.
And we're just mad and it's coming out. Because we're getting in front of it. Because we have a scheduled time where we sit down and talk to each other. So if there's anger that can't be contained, there's somewhere it's going to end up going, even if we don't want it to.
Yes.
Like, it's almost like living together.
Yeah, very close.
Except we have a very... Actually, it's been more flexible lately.
What do you mean?
Like, because for a really long time, 7 o'clock on Saturday, every Saturday, 7 o'clock, like, but recently we've been like, I've got a date, I've got a...
well, we have more lives now.
Yeah, and so we're sort of more flexible on when we do the records.
And the only reason that was me who picked 7 o'clock on Saturday is because I thought that neither of us was really doing anything at that time.
No, and actually, we still most of the time do it at 7 o'clock on Saturday.
But yeah, I just picked that time because I thought it just seemed most convenient for the both of us. And if we need any guests, usually, because I know a lot of comics because I used to do stand up, so I could ask them, and they could usually do it at 7, before they went off and do their shows. Because other guys don't go on their show until like 9 o'clock or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, should be convenient, be able to get guests, and if not, we could always move it to a Sunday. So it's very flexible. But yeah, now we're just doing it whenever. not whenever. Mostly it's 7.
I mean, we still have a schedule because we have to know when to sit down in front of the computer.
But we can move it around. Yeah, because you're either on a date or I'm on a date or we're all doing whatever. Yeah. Something's going on. So yeah, but it's worked out pretty well. I'm very happy to do the show with you. You're one of the most wonderful people I've ever met. And even though you can be exasperating, like I can't ask you goddamn questions sometimes, like how to get to your apartment. But beyond that, you're a good guy.
I mean, I did tell you. I said south.
Yes. Do you use your Google? I'm like, yeah, I know there's a Google. But really, what buildings? See, we'll get into this. Why not? We got time to fill.
Sure.
We're recording this at George's house, so I had to go over to his place. My idea, by the way, because my place is way too small. And he's also got 2 mics, whatever. So I get off the train because he's on the PATH train, and I'm walking to his house, but I've walked here before, but I couldn't quite remember where exactly. And he does it differently. I go by monuments and buildings. So if I see this building, I go, okay, I know I walk this way. And I know I got to turn this way because that building's there. You don't do that.
Nope.
How do you find places?
I use Google Maps.
See, I'm an old man. I know.
But I know you know how to use Google Maps.
But I'm just natural. Like, just is it down this way? Like, I have no idea.
Because I have to know what road you're on. And, like, there's 2 roads you could walk down that'll be most of the walk to my place. JFK or Bergen. And you were like, Tennelle. I'm like, I know that's near Journal Square, but it's neither of the 2 roads that I need you to be on for me to give you directions. And I'm like, just go south. Wherever, just point yourself south and start walking. If you hit a building, go around it until you're going south again. I don't know what to tell you.
Anyway, obviously I made it here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was interesting. But anyway, it's all good. It's all good. All right. So the next question is, what's your favorite movie that works? And what is yours? Oh, I have one ready. Yeah.
Go for it.
The Third Man, obviously.
Oh yeah, that would have to be true, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's my favorite film of all time.
Favorite movie of all time, and we said it worked.
Which is, I understand this is very strange because I'm a black man, and these films are also older than I am. But the cynicism, I just really love the way the film ended, and I like the fact that it is an old movie and it had that in there. And then I thought the characters are very well done, and also there's very good dialogue, especially the speech by Orson Welles in the picture. Anyway, Third Man, another picture you should see, and I enjoy that. But that is my favorite film of all time, so that is my favorite, and I think it still works.
I stopped even recording the things in our sheet, so I don't really have a good...
Well, just say, what's the favorite film that we've seen that you really liked?
Well, my favorite film that we've seen doesn't work.
Oh, Goonies?
The Goonies, because... It's just fucking stupid. It is so fucking stupid. I think we said Who Framed Roger Rabbit worked.
I like how we can't remember what word. You did enjoy Roger Rabbit. It was like a call, but I don't know. Is that your favorite? Do you think?
I mean, of the ones that I'm looking, because
he's got to look through the list. He has no
300 episodes, Joe.
But there should be one film that stands out for you. What about Good Morning Vietnam? I remember you liking that a lot. You love Robin Williams.
I do love Robin Williams.
You love Ron Williams and Adam Sandler.
I don't love Adam Sandler. I just happen to see a lot of his movies.
Well, that usually implies liking at the very least.
No, you know what? Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, good choice. Yes,
because I love a good musical, and it. Oh wait, I actually argued that Little Shop of Horrors wasn't a musical.
Doesn't matter. This is one of your favorite. This is one of your favorite films,
and it's just such a. It's really well put together. It's a delight. And I loved how you like. Honestly, I love when you love a movie. Like it's. Okay, now, actually, when I think about it, it makes a lot of sense based on other parts of my life. But I like when you're enjoying something that makes me happy. And like you really, really loved
Little Shop of Horrors?
Yeah, the thing that I just said.
What I really enjoyed about Little Shop, I mean, look, I love the whole thing, and I'm one of those people. I've seen both the musical and I've seen the film version. I think the film version is better because it has a happier ending. I think it works as a happy ending as opposed to the not happy ending of the musical. But the thing that I really appreciate about it, I thought it had a very accurate portrayal of poverty, more than Rent, which is weird. Rent is supposed to be the serious thing about these poor people, and they look like they were living actually pretty well, whereas in Little Shop of Horrors, they look like they are poor. They live in really terrible settings.
Down on Skid Row.
And Skid Row is a fantastic song.
Oh, yeah.
Some of that woman who sings it, who apparently died soon after she records it. Man, that is a good film. Yeah.
And the other question is, what's your most hated film that didn't work?
I can give a more general answer to that. I can't think of a specific film. I think the more general thing is true of both of us. So we don't like, well, obviously don't like sexism, racism, all that sort of stuff. But the sort of stuff we just had with the Pam Grier picture we just saw, where there's excessive, exploitive stuff. I mean, look, George and I, we like tits just like the most person, but Jesus Christ, there were scenes in there where just the women are fighting, their blouses fall off. It's like there's
oh my goodness, my boobs are out again. How did that happen?
Apparently no one wears a bra in that universe. And also like there's a scene with the poor woman's getting attacked and she gets her blouse I mean, I think a lot of that stuff, we just, too much exploitive stuff we just don't care for. Really, that's for me, just all these films. That's one way you'll know it's not going to work for either one of us. It's like, obviously bigotry and all sorts of stuff, but the sexism, the casual sexism, I think it's probably more in films than any sort of racism, or at least modern films. They know not to use it anywhere, and they'll know not to portray the non-white characters as trash or anything. But when it comes to women, all bets are off. You got the manic pixie dream girl. You got their blouses falling off every 5 minutes. You got the women falling in love with men that in no real world they would fall in love with. There's so many. I can't even think of the number of films we've seen in which they're like, this male character is an asshole, and he gets the girl at the end of the picture. Like, how is that possible? He is a jerk, and he's rewarded for being a jerk. Mm-hmm. Which teaches a lot of men the wrong idea about relationships, which is why we got the problems at least part of the problems we have in this country, is that people look at these films like, oh, if I act like that, I'll get a girlfriend too. Like, no! I mean, maybe you will, but Jesus Christ, you're going to be a terrible boyfriend.
Speaking of bad relationship stuff, that's my boy.
Ah, yes.
I said it during the episode. I have not had as hard a time watching a movie for the podcast as I had watching that movie. Blue Velvet, whatever. The other, Eraserhead, sure. That's my point. I could not watch it in one sitting. I had to break it because I just got I was exhausted by it. Just the stupidity and the amount of hatred I felt for this main character.
It is amazing how bad that film is. I can only repeat what I said at the time we recorded. Is like, how did this get past all these people and no one saw a problem? This is a story about rape. It's weird. It's a comedy, and it's only about this 14-year-old boy gets laid by his teacher, and it's supposed to be hilarious. And we're looking at this aghast, like, and at the time, people were still shocked by it. Like, why did you release this? This isn't funny. And look, again, I'll repeat what I said there. I've seen plenty of films in which a character is young and he's having sex with a person's older, but they're
The Graduate.
Well, a Graduate also didn't like, but at least they all look like adults. And fucking that's
Yeah,
my
'cause
boy.
Dennis Hoffer always looked.
And that's my boy. That freak. And also, he's an adult. He's a college student in The Graduate. So,
Yeah.
But anyway, and that's my boy. It actually has a 14-year-old boy playing the 14-year-old boy. When this teacher hit on him. Now, again, you don't really see any sex or anything, but still, it's like, oh, I don't want to see children in these scenarios. I don't care for it. Does not make me feel good. I don't want to see this. Ooh. So, and because I know how do people, studio heads watch this go, oh yeah, that's hilarious. And everybody's high five, yay! He fucked his teacher. Oh, good. Go. It becomes famous for it. Now let's not get back in. That's my boy. Jesus Christ. So that's one. Yeah, that is definitely a picture like, And what was the film? We also thought it was really disgusting, even though it was trying to be an anti-Nazi picture. But there's like one scene where there's like a sexual assault where this woman is a cashier in a supermarket and they pour milk on her. This black woman pour milk on her face, and it's like it just seemed like the director seemed to be getting off on it, but it was an anti-Nazi picture. And yet, obviously, the director lost control of it. I think it may have been maybe American X or something, or American History X. Does that sound right?
American History. That had Ed Norton in it.
You're right. Am I thinking of the same picture?
No, I think because that was he went to prison for curb stomping a guy, and
you're right. But isn't there also a scene when they go into a cat? That film just. I also.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I remember what you're talking about. I don't remember what movie it was.
But that picture also kind of folds apart, and it's trying to come from a good place, I think. But the director just did not know what he was doing. Ed Norton does a very good performance. The acting in it is good, although I want to call him Cisco. Was it Avery Brooks? He's in that picture, and he's like supposed to be a teacher. But for some reason, the police bring him in to investigate these Nazis or something. Like, why is the teacher there? I don't understand. It was really just stupid. Just a mess of a movie. I think that was American History, but maybe not. I don't know. People, write in. See, this is why we need your help. Write in. Tell me what picture I'm thinking of.
It's 300 episodes.
Because I don't remember. And, all these things after a while kind of blend together. Those scenes like that do stand out for me. I still don't know why George didn't like Blue Velvet and Eraserhead. It's really Blue Velvet. What a good picture.
His disease is in me.
I really did enjoy that movie. See Blue Velvet, ladies and gentlemen. You'll see what we're talking about. It's and it's in color, so you can't complain. Eraserhead is in black and white, but at least Blue Velvet's in color. See if that makes a difference to you. See if you enjoy it more. It's not in black and white. Yeah, there it is. It's not in black and white. Now let's see what you think. I like David Lynch. I think he's a fun director, but I get that he's an acquired taste for a lot of people. Maybe everyone really doesn't get where he's coming from, and sometimes I don't get where he's coming from, but I still enjoy it. There was a time. Give a little background on myself. Like I studied film. I studied film at Syracuse University. Any Syracuse people out there? I studied film at Syracuse University before I transferred to the new school, and that's where I graduated from. But when I was at the Syracuse, Spike Lee was very big, so that was my main influence. And She's Gotta Have It was actually in black and white. And I really liked his work, and I'm like, oh, Spike Lee. But unfortunately, my dreams did not come true. I never actually became a new Spike Lee. By the time he came out, there were a bunch of different black directors going on, because it was because remember there was the whole black exploitation thing in the 70s, and that sort of died out, and then they had the 80s. There was suddenly like just white people films, and very few black people or they were supporting characters, and then Spike Lee comes along, and then a bunch of other black filmmakers come along, and then suddenly we have films again with black people in it, and these all made money. So of course the studios said, oh, let's keep doing. Why did we stop doing this? There's money. Oh, we like money, and so they kept doing it, and that's where we still are today. So you'll see there's certainly way more black representation than ever when I was a kid. There's just way more, and there was a time when I was growing up.
You can tell because there are certain white people that are just absolutely losing their minds over it all the time.
That is true. That is true. And also, not only is there more black representation, there was a time when I was growing up and I don't get this as much. I'm in my 50s, maybe that's also part of it. Well, I was told how white I sounded, which just drove me crazy because I talk. I don't know what whites like. This is how I speak. I'm not putting on airs. I'm not trying to accomplish anything. This is just the way I talk. But god damn, did I hear that all the time? And sometimes even for other black people, they're just white people. I was once on this phone talking to this woman, getting a date together, and she says to me like, "Hey, well, why do you want to date black women?" And I said, "I don't know. My mother was one. I don't know. What do you want me to say?" Like, I'm I'm black, right? She says, "Oh no, I'm sorry." I'm just like, why would you? Anyway, so that was part of my childhood, ladies and gentlemen, my growing up. Apparently, I sound very like a white person for some, but I don't hear that anymore. I don't because there's more black people out there. Less people are saying because I don't know what people typically sound like some character from a '70s TV show. It's like, yo, how's everybody doing today? Hey, baby, get down and shook your buddy.
I've never thought you sounded white. I just always thought you sounded like Joe.
Well, you're born in 1981, but I think you may be more accustomed to hearing black just freaking talk. But yeah, it was, that was a thing. That was definitely a thing. Just unbelievable. So what about you? What's the weirdest thing? We're just shooting the shit now. What is the weirdest thing you grew up with and that went away as you got older? Can you think of anything like, oh God, I used to hear it all the time. Then as I got older, I don't hear it anymore.
No, everything that I grew up with that was bad is still around. And worse. I don't know, I grew up with undiagnosed ADHD, and then when I was an adult, I got it diagnosed. So it's less apparent. I don't know. My social awkwardness. I mean, I'm not awkward, but it matters less now. Play into it and then just meet people and make friends. Yeah, I don't know. Other than those things.
You, I think, from what you've told me about your life, I think you take a lot. I don't want to put it that way because it sounds bad. Well, no, I'm just going to say
I'm definitely curious.
No. What I was going to say is I want to say that you take a lot less risk than you used to, but I don't want to put it that way because it sounds like you're not hiding from anything, but you would just. Like, well, for example, you told me how you once drove across the country, basically, in a car, even though you didn't have a license. You had like a serious license.
I did that.
With your wife at the time, and she was pregnant.
Yep.
Yeah. So, which to me sounds wildly irresponsible. Which I don't think you would do today.
No, I don't have a license now, and I don't drive anything.
But I mean, just not literally that. But you wouldn't be so irresponsible, do something so ridiculous that could hurt other people. You wouldn't take those sort of risks. I think. I don't think that's who you are.
Yeah,
today.
I don't think I would either.
Yeah, so that's.
I tend to be very safety focused. I'm unrelentingly safety focused now.
Yeah, you're going to do things that potentially hurt you or other people. That's why I say by not risk.
Yeah.
And I say you won't go out and meet people.
I'm less reckless than I
reckless is a better word for it. Risk. You're a lot less reckless. Well, what? So I am a man in his 50s. And so what do you think your 50s are going to be like? What do you, just in general, do you have any sort of like goals? Like, I would like to have this by the time I'm 50. I like to be this by the time I'm 50.
No, I haven't thought that far ahead. I know I want to have I don't want to be living in this fucking apartment.
All right.
By the time I'm 50.
Well, you want a house, right?
Yeah, I want a house where I can put down some roots and customize it to make it a fortress that'll detect Nazis and shoot them. Booby traps, shit like that. That's about it. Like, my near-term goals are get my fucking license back. My license was suspended for not having insurance on a car that I didn't have anymore. Which is fun. That's a fun... And I don't have any proof that I don't have the car anymore, which makes it hard to fight. It's not having proof of nothing. It's a weird thing to not have your proof of. So, but once my license expired, because it was suspended, and then it expired, and I just got a regular real ID, non-driver's ID. So I'm gonna use the legal shield shit that I get through work that got me my divorce for $300, which is less. Like, I see billboards for divorce, $4.99, no kids. I'm like, I got divorced for $300 with kids. Like, me and my ex just worked things out really amicably. It was nice. I went on anxiety meds to deal with that. Then I went off of them because it turned out to be less stressful than I thought it was going to be. And then other things stressed me out, and I had to go back on them for other reasons. But my ADHD meds have way worn off by now because we are at 10:18 p.m.
When you got married again, did you think you would get married again?
I was there on purpose doing that.
Let me rephrase that. When you get your divorce, you think I'm doing. Were you over the? I'm going to get married again someday.
At the moment when my ex and I decided to split, no. At that moment, I thought I was going to find the cheapest one bedroom that I could, and then funnel as much money as I could to my kids. Like, I thought I was going to become just a money source until they grew up. Then about a year after my ex and I decided to split, Kit reached out to me, and that started that relationship. And from the moment that relationship started, it was like we were both sort of solid. We're gonna get fucking married one day. But so at the time, no. But when my divorce was finalized, was about 7 months before Kit and I got married. So I did think that I was going to get married again by the time the paperwork was done.
I really hope. It's a weird thing because I know a lot of people, well, why would you not just want to live with somebody? I don't know. I just like the idea of being with somebody. I don't want to have kids, obviously. And at this point, it would be very bad idea for me to have children. But I would like to be married. I would just like to have someone else in my life and have a real married relationship. I don't know. I guess maybe it's romantic in me or something, or I don't know. I just would like that.
Well, not for nothing. Society has been pushing on you for 50 plus years that's the only way to be truly happy.
Yeah, I guess.
It's not your fault for buying into that message. It's been inculcated in us from an early age through every piece of media that we consume.
True. And speaking of your driver's license, I've never had a license. I could never learn how to drive. I took a number of lessons, failed every time I went for my driver's test. I had a number of friends try and teach me to drive. I just couldn't do it. Born and raised in New York, so I really didn't need to learn. But eventually I thought, well, I surely should get one, but never had for me. So I just have a real idea myself. And now when I think about, well, I want to retire someday, so I have no intention of ever getting a license, because what would be the point? So I have to now figure out a place to move to where I never have to drive.
You don't have to, yeah.
Which is why I lean towards places. I need walkable cities like New York, because I'm very happy there, and I walk everywhere. And when I don't walk, I take a train, so that's perfect for me. So that's and also I just like cities. When I went to Mexico, you had mentioned when I went off to Mexico in the park, you said I'll help you find what you're looking for. And what I found there is that it turns out I'm not a person who can live in Mexico, at least in that section. I probably should look at other Mexican cities, but I figure overall I don't like the vibe here, and just not working for me. And a lot of people love where I was. But not for me. So we'll have to see. I want to try Thailand, which is also a walkable. Like Bangkok is supposed to be walkable, reasonably walkable. And if not that, then South Africa was also supposed to be walkable. After that, I don't know. We'll see.
All the white people are leaving South Africa.
Yes, they're coming here, so it's definitely time for me to get out. Sean thinks I'm never going to leave. He thinks I'm going to stay here. He thinks I'm not serious. But I don't
think you're not serious. I think you might end up staying because you don't find a place that ticks all your boxes. But I don't think it's because you're not serious.
I do wonder if, because obviously my main thing is, ladies and gentlemen, I want to retire as soon as possible. That's my main thing. And that's not going to be possible with me living in New York.
Not unless this podcast really takes off and makes us livable money.
Or Mandani does an even more fantastic job than I hope he does. It makes society so affordable I can afford to live on Social Security.
If Mandani plays out all of the things that the right thinks he said he's going to do,
then that should be good. Then I would stay, because if it's affordable here, why would I leave? I was born and raised here. I don't mind staying here.
Did you see? I saw fucking Twitter, some fucking conservative, I was just in New York. Where is all these fucking $1,000 rents that Madami was promising? Well, number one, asshole, he's not fucking mayor yet.
There's that.
Number two, he never promised that.
Yeah, he said he frees the rent, which is not the same as bringing the rent down.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, eventually I do want to either leave the city or at least find somewhere affordable. I have a very firm idea that no one else is interested in. I'd love to have a Golden Girl situation where I just live with a bunch of older people. I'll just share a house. That would be nice. I like that as well, but no one's interested. No one wants to do it. At least no one I know at the moment. But that's it. Yeah, how do we get on this topic? I'm just babbling at this point.
Rambling. I think the post show is longer than the main show at this point.
Yeah, well, good. Everyone can hear this one, so.
Yeah, so it's all a main show.
So that's all main show. Ladies and gentlemen, I again want to thank you for 300 episodes. George, I want to thank you for doing 300 episodes with me. I really do appreciate it. I love doing this show. Not always, but most of the time.
Me too, Joe. You're a great partner in this venture, and you're a great friend.
And we are real friends in real life.
Yes.
We do hang out and do things besides this goddamn podcast.
Yep.
Got you out to meet some possibly new friends over on, 72nd Street?
They didn't come to my show.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They all said they were all super adamant they were going to be there.
That show. Yeah, I'm so sorry. That's right. I didn't even think about that.
That's why I tagged him when I posted about it. But I'm it's fine. It's fine that nobody did. No, I mean, I can't say nobody was. Like, I had Joe there, I had Kit there, I had my sweetheart there, and I had 5 people from work there. I had plenty of people watching me fuck up playing.
Oh, stop. You made a mistake and you've corrected it. It's not like you dwelled on it. You're like, oh.
No, but then I fucked up again. And I know I fucked up, and that's the one that matters.
Yes. All right. Well, you don't be so hard. Hey, you see me do stand-up. You want to see fuck up. I was doing that a lot longer than you were playing.
Again, the only thing I thought you did wrong is that every time you got on stage, you acted like you wanted to be anywhere else.
Like I do this podcast.
A little bit.
I work somewhere else. God damn. I'm an unhappy man, apparently. No wonder I'm not married. Or maybe that would make, I don't know. Does that prevent you being unhappy? You from getting married?
No, it does not. Not that, and that is not a dig on my wife. It's not.
Oh, no.
It's, marriage is not a solution to a bunch of problems.
No.
It's not something that fixes your life. It's, in a very real sense, it's daring somebody that you won't break up by putting paperwork in the way. But it's also a way to extend benefits in a society that allows for that. So we take care of people, and it's a sign that you're really committed to, and you share a vision with somebody for the way you want your lives to be moving forward.
Correct.
I don't consider my first marriage a failure. Like, we got married stupid young, and then had a bunch of kids. Like, that's not setting yourselves up for long-term success, because you didn't have established lives there to take care of everything. And then other shit came along. It was just, we got young and drifted apart. That was the overwhelming narrative. So I married somebody else that I went to high school with.
That is very funny.
Statement.
No, there's a true statement. It's very funny. Yeah, you keep marrying girls from high school after they're adults.
Yes.
Let's be clear. Everybody's an adult here. You just knew them in high school. He was also high school student.
Everybody I married was within a year of me.
And your ex-wife and your present wife were actually friends in high school, right?
Yep.
That's so funny. That's so weird. I feel like there's a book or story in there somewhere.
I've been told that I should write a relationship book, because I give a lot of relationship advice. I've got a friend that I met through the poly subreddit that lives in China, and she works for the State Department.
Okay.
But she hi Lori, if you're listening, I don't know if you're listening, but she'll text me hey, I need poly man brain. And she'll ask me for my advice on whatever's going on in her relationships. And I hang out in the poly subreddits and give her, and people have told me over the years, including exes people that I've dated, you should really write a book. And I'm thinking it's going to be a short book of just 101 level. This is how you relate to other human beings in a healthy way.
Or you could just post it online.
Maybe. Yeah. But so Joe didn't know what to make of it when I said, no, I kind of like writing the summaries because it means I get to say I'm a writer. I still get to say that because I write the history segments. I like that I get to say that I'm a writer because I write something on a regular basis. It would be nice to actually be able to say I'm an author.
A published writer. Yeah, that makes sense.
So maybe I'll put that on my
to-do list.
Before I'm 50.
Before I'm 50. Yeah, that makes sense. Nice to have goals.
I've got 5 years and change.
Mm.
I should be able to pull that off.
Meanwhile, I'll be in my 60s.
I was at me and my sweetheart went to IHOP this morning, and I was looking at the menu. I'm like, I am 10 years and change away from the 55-year menu. I am way closer to being 55 than I am not being 55.
Another interesting thing about from my childhood is that I think, and this is complimentary to me, I know, but still, I think it's true. Older people look way better now than when I was a kid. Older people look really old. Maybe it's just perception as a kid, but now older people look. You can't always tell someone's age. You can't have. When I was a kid, you could tell when a dude was in his 50s with like baggy eyes and they're all bent over. I mean, just look fucking awful. And most people in their 50s now look pretty decent.
I don't know if there's any truth to this statement. A lot of foods have preservatives in them.
You think they're preserving people?
I wonder if part of it is that our diet is high in preservatives, and that's actually preventing cells from dying that should maybe die.
We are definitely eating differently than our ancestors, so yeah, that may be something to that. The diets are definitely different, and the food is also better. I remember people would just think they were eating healthy by having a steak and potatoes every day or something and then they wonder why their hearts would be all clogged up. That's why all these men die, although men still die, I think, before women, but even more dramatically, a lot more heart attacks. No, but I think, and also we're more health conscious in terms of going to the gym.
Some of us are.
Well, some of us. But the point is that this is a thing that just was not common when I was growing up. In fact, I remember the idea of going to the gym was still a very rare thing until like the 80s. That someone actually would go. Before that, you had Jack LaLanne and all these guys were like fitness pros.
I am 100% convinced that gyms survive because people pay for memberships that they don't use.
Oh, for sure.
Like, if everybody that was not going to the gym but had a membership actually canceled their membership, I think every gym would close.
Probably more of them would. I
don't think more gyms can close than what exist.
I do believe that more people, a lot of people sign up and they don't go. But I think a significant portion of people do go. Now, obviously, that keeps the gyms open, but also or helps to keep them open. But also, like I said, people are more health conscious, and because a lot of people keep themselves in shape, old age doesn't look like it used to.
Yeah.
Because again, here's something I didn't even bring up during the main show, but I'll bring up now. What do you think of the ages? Because Ingrid Bergman is younger than Humphrey Bogart and Paul Ryan, and I think it's visible. Those guys look much older than her.
That's normal for that era of filmmaking. Yeah.
So, while today they would probably all look about the same age because the guys would be in much better shape as opposed to smoking cigarettes every 5 minutes and doing.
Not for nothing. I'm in better shape than I was 5 years ago. Because I started losing weight and actually working out. And
you don't smoke anymore. You used to smoke.
Quit smoking 11 years ago.
Yeah, it's just stuff matters. It all comes together. I think that's it. I don't know what else we really.
I gotta boil prep raisins for tomorrow's sourdough,
and I gotta go home. So again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening. I hope you stayed through the whole thing. I don't know.
Especially thank you, patrons.
Thank you, patrons. Yes,
for validating our efforts in this show by actually giving us money. I can't express how floored I am that any of you actually do that.
Agreed, yes.
And especially thank you, Eve, for seeing that post and giving us 3 questions to answer.
Yes, thank you, Eve Frankenstein.
All right, folks. You say your tagline?
Well, I think we've all had enough of this.
Yep, people out there in podcast land, stay safe, get jabbed.
Bye-bye.